Hey there guys, as promised I'll be giving you a tour of my craft room. I did a live previously, I think it was in December, but I promised every detail, so here is it. So I hope you enjoy and you like this video and share it with your crafty friends and comment your favorite part from the room. And if you have any queries regarding the contents or organization or anything of this room, you can let me know. So without further ado, let's get started. So this is my main entrance, and now I'll be entering my room. So here's a full glimpse of my craft room. Okay, now starting with my desk. This is the computer station on which I do most of my paperworks. Here is my printer and some of the instruments which I play, along with a junk drawer. Now this has got some personal memorabilia and souvenirs, so I'm not going to open it. Beside this is a huge table which I customized with the help of my carpenter, which holds all of my regularly used crafting items, including my glass media mat by Tim Holtz. So I'll be giving a closer look at everything, starting with my heat tool, obviously. Then I have got my water bottle, some daily essentials. I've got my planner, I've got my traveler's notebook, the mini size, and my to-do list for the day, and a pencil box. Now this big thing here, I'm sorry for the shaky camera because I'm recording it myself. This machine here is Cricut, and it's the Explore Air 2 version. Okay, now moving ahead, I have all of my Copics, my Zig, some Spectrum Noir and touch markers, along with some Miniso markers at the top. Here's my glass media mat, my favorite thing. Now here's the top view of this. I have got a light, as you can see, and it is covered with vellum so that the light is diffused. And this phone stand, mobile holder, not phone stand, holds my phone when I'm doing a live or sessions like that. And the tripod which I use is this, and I'll try to link everything over to my blog and you can have a look at it. Few ceramic bowls, dishes to hold my various tits and bits. Moving on to the bottom of the table is all my cutters, trimmers, everything. My mini Tim Holtz trimmer, my VR memory keepers. I think the brightness is not much, I'm sorry. That's the VR memory keepers fuse tool. All my Tim Holtz trimmers, rotary cutters, and things like that. Beneath this is my trash bin. Here are a few important documents, files, all my essential tools and hardwares, my drill machine. Now this holds my rhinestones, see, and chipboards there, my brads, extra papers, cloth, and my Nikon. This is the stationery drawer, holds rubber bands and things like that, calculator. This is my tape drawer, adhesive tape drawers. And this is my glue drawer. Basically these two have all of my adhesive supplies. Moving over to my second table, I've got a caddy or bucket from Westside, which holds all of my regularly used tools, my Martha Stewart scissors, some via memory keepers, quick stick, glues, and whatnot, guys. Die cleaners, ball burnishes, some spatula, sponge daubers, scales, and all. After that, I have got my acrylic paint pens, which I use for my recent obsession, which is dot painting. Brush dryer along with all of my watercolor brushes and acrylic. Some Nuvo pens, my scissors, and these are organized in cups. Some writing pens, jelly rolls, and things like that. Here are 3 containers which has got my adhesive erasers, all sorts of tools. Now this is inspired by the queen herself, Jennifer Maguire, and I have all my cardstocks which is cut into card pieces, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, card bases, extra foams, and some junk notepads. This bin here holds all of my recent purchases which I haven't organized yet, and some I have organized also, but I haven't used them and I plan them for my future videos and all. This table top holds the via memory keepers tools in their storage, and some of my cricket tools also in this pouch. And for these organizers, these are by Montmartre. They hold 96 sketch pens or whatever. I can use it for, you can use it for any pencils, pens, whatever. I have 2 of them in here, and I have organized my zig markers by color also in one of them. Then I have some rainbow bouquet papers, but some of my projects, very early projects like glass charms, bottle charms. Okay, now moving on to the drawers and sections of this table. The first one holds miscellaneous things like this is my washi roll, extra stamp chamois here, earbuds, cotton rolls, these die cut pieces which are used for layouts. This holds all of my embossing powders, some additional staplers and punches, and some of the tools. Okay, the third and the most abused big drawer is this. Holds all of my regular crafty items, my tapes. These are the tapes which I am currently using, and in those you have the additional ones. My glue tubes, my tape runners, my acrylic blocks, stamp chamois, stamping positioners, and some essentials, tissue wipes and tissue papers, some of the alcohol sprays and water sprays and things like that. Beneath this is a sleek document holder type of creek which I use for my handmade sheets. I've got lots and lots of this, and it stays perfectly in here. Now this was meant for document storage, but I used it for all the extra cutting mats, embossing pads, foam sheets, etc., and my quilling things, and some projects that I'm working on. Okay, I forgot to show you this, which is the stickers and quilling essentials. I store my stickers in like so, category wise. And also I have a big bin for the three-dimensional stickers, organized by theme, like alphabets, chipboards, flowers, foam, etc. Stacked very well together here. This area holds my watercolors, acrylic colors, soft pastels, watercolor cakes, pens, and also the what do we call them? Watercolor cakes, pencils, and all, and some acrylic cubes. This holds all of my alcoholings, enamel accents by Ranger, and some of my glass paints as well. Moving on. This corner, this pin board holds all of my regularly used, design elements, my to-do lists, my recent watercolor paintings and all. Okay, this caddy actually, this is 3 or 4 tired, and this holds my punches, my glitters, some child craft kits, diamond painting kits in these 2 racks. This bin holds all of my wrapping papers and some feathers. And this sign by Archie's, I just love it. Genius at work. Okay. This table is my most favorite table because this is the most colorful table actually. Holds all of my ink pads. I have Prima Color Philosophy ink pads in here. Some Versa Color pigment ink pads and color box sets also. Then I have got the Distress colors, Distress Oxide inks, and I've got only the colors which I think I will be using and their reinkers. These are all of my black and white and specialty ink pads. Versafine, Momento, Tuxedo Black, Versamark Clear Embossing ink, etc. My brushes, blending brushes, and the Alexa which Shruti ma'am gifted me. Okay, now this is the mini distress ink pads, some sponge daubers and extra foam of the blending brushes, blending tools by Artistry or Ranger, whatever, some stenciling brushes and some used ones. This drawer holds all of my stencil, my Lawn Fawn, Mudra, Tubby Crafts, no not Tubby Crafts, only Mudra, and other companies, Ranger, Tim Holtz, even some childish plastic ones. This holds all of my additional archivals, my Artistry Shilpi distressing pads, the mini ones. Then you have the archival ones. Then you have the Nuvo diamond dye hybriding pads. This is my Big Shot machine, and the only reason I've kept this surface clean is because I take this machine out and keep it in here and do the die cutting and then put it back. Similarly for the Big Shot Plus. Okay, moving on to the corners, I have some threads, my sewing machine, and this table lamp is beautiful. Now this huge rack consists of the majority of what I own. I hope you can see this, and I'll be showing each and everything one by one. So these are the card display, and this is the first card I received from Anushri Di, and so I just hung it here. Okay, now moving on to the top rack, I've got all of my personal things, photos of family members, my grandparents, and some of the wreath making rings and embroidery rings here. So there's nothing much to show, just my old projects. Moving on to the baskets, these bins, I've got these from a flea market, and these are very inexpensive, very sturdy, and at the same time they hold quite a lot of good stuff. So I think these are very affordable and good for any craft room or any kind of storage. So moving on, the first one contains my larger flower making supplies like styrofoam balls, the fillers, larger artificial leaves, crepe papers, etc. This second one holds my gift giving supplies like the paper bags, gift bags, tissues, etc. This bin here holds all of my gift envelopes, which I decorate further and make a gift envelope. This smaller bin holds the pearl paper collection shaker making tool as well. This one holds all of my photo props, the easel, etc. And this is my name tag for Instagram. And these two transparent bins hold all of my cards which are up for purchase. Moving on to the second rack, this area is basically my design team area. I keep all of my tubby craft. You might be knowing that I am the design team, one of the design team members of tubby craft. So I keep all of the tubby things in here, and some sharpies and some sequins which I use all the time. By the way, these organizers, clear organizers, are from Miniso, and they work very well. They stack atop each other and hold good amount of stuff. Now these bins here contains all of my mixed media stuff. This, all mixed media essentials, and this cute keychain I received from Nuvo. This is whole of my mixed media rack actually. Holds all of my Tonic Studios, Nuvo product, glitter drop, shimmer powders, glitter drops, sparkle drops, vintage drops, etc. Embellishment mousse, blisters, glitters and sequins. Then here are the primer essentials, mica powders, collage medium, and various other mixed media supplies atop. These are recycled jars by my mother actually. She used them in her kitchen, and now when she has got rid of them, I use them for storing small embellishments. These contain paper clips, wooden clips actually, chipboard pieces, and various other beads, flocking powders, and things like that. Behind are larger cups which contains all of my paper threads, some jute threads, a drawer again by Miniso to hold my jewelry making supplies, and things other than that. Now these bins on the third rack contains the smaller paper flower making supplies and some of the flowers which I have prepared already, ready for using the projects. These two bins holds my glue gun and glue gun sticks, and behind them is the laminator machine. all my crepe paper flower making supplies, some felt sheets and foam sheets, some lesser used tools and paints in these baskets. Then I have got all of my sprays, bloom sprays by Primer, Lindy's Stamp Gang and mica sprays. Coming to the third rack, this contains all the ribbons and ropes. This bin contains all the alterable materials like small vials and glass bottles. This contains all of my alterable materials like MDF trays, baskets, wire baskets and empty bamboo squares, bird cages. All things which I use for altered art are in the third rack. Now this also contains some lesser used mixed media supplies, and this bin has all of my packaging supplies, my paper shredder, some postage envelopes, etc. And behind is the bubble wrap roll. Coming down to the last rack, these are all of my magazines which I organized by theme, by brand. Then I have some snack boxes which contains chocolates and biscuits for when my mood strikes. Then I have got some educational magazines and some magazines which I refer for flower making are in these. This huge jute basket contains all of my boxed projects, all my boxes, baskets, etc. Coming on to another huge long rack in my room which has got all of my papers basically. So moving on to the first rack, I have got some of my favorite projects. This one was gifted to me by my aunt, so I kept that in the top. These are several of the embroidery rings and embroidery hoops, as I said, wreath making things. These are all of my earlier made projects, basically scrapbooks actually, and some reference books and diaries. Then I have got paper pads which I am going to show you closely. These are all of my 12 by 12. Then I've got the 6 by 6 organized by category and brand and theme in these bins. I've got 4 of these, so there are a lot of 6 by 6 papers. The fourth rack has all of my tag sheets, some 6 by 8 papers, 8 by 8, 9 by 9, 10 by 10, and some of the everyday essentials files and folders, along with some 6 by 4s by DCDW and VIA memory keepers. Behind them are my huge stacks of white and black cardstocks, card bases. Coming to the fifth and sixth, the fifth rack contains all of my A4 sized cardstocks, some of the A4 pattern papers, continuing till here on the sixth rack. Then I have got all the A3 sized cardstock and gold mirror cardstock as well. Now I have one of the coziest corners of my craft room. I call this my reading nook, and it is beautifully decorated. This drawer holds all of my paper scraps, some ribbons, scraps, all sorted by color. These are patterned scraps. These are white, black, and craft cardstock scrap. These are some of the colored cardstock scraps, and these are some specialty cardstock scraps. Atop this sits my current course, which I'm not allowed to show. And this box here holds some of my tag sheets which I have cut and made ready to use. Now this table holds these Tonic Studios wallets with paper kits, and this table opens up to reveal all of my mudra envelopes, my sequins and glass beads, some other envelopes like white and vellum envelopes, and my eyelets. These three drawers holds my essentials like more envelopes and packaging supplies, along with some 6x6 cardstock bases and labels. This is all of my home essentials and cleaning stuff, extra gloves and tissue wipes. I'm sorry, my dogs are barking in the background. And these are all of my room fresheners and things like that. This section holds hundreds of washi tapes. Some of them I purchased, some of them were gifted. This rack holds my all-to-new washi tapes, which are in large rolls. Some metal charms and some die-cut and ephemera pieces, all organized by color and theme. Now this area is the soul of my room, as it contains my dies and stamps. Looking forward to how I organize my dies. I organize them in these document organizers. Like this. And I have labeled them at the top, so I know what is in each one of the document holders. Now this also works for my smaller 2x3 stamps. And I have used visiting card holders to store my 2x3 stamps. At the side, here is my C6 alpha bubbles, and when I before opening, this holds all of my projects, the current projects that I am working on and things like that. And when I open it, I've got my stamps. I organize my stamps by the company in these A5 document organizers. And I also keep the coordinating dies inside. Let me show you. For example, here is the stamp and here is the matching die. By the way, this bin holds all of my lawn fawn stamps. I am a huge fan of lawn fawn, and so I've got most of their stamps. These are some of the smaller stamp sets, and these are the embossing folders, and the supplies required to organize these are in this bin. And I forgot to mention about this stand. It holds all of my ribbons and wrapping papers. This room was previously my bedroom, which I shifted upstairs and made this into a craft room. I hope you liked my craft room. If you do, give this a thumbs up, share and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for joining. Happy crafting!